Now we're going to flip-flop. Let's talk about something bad. Let's talk about something bad. Let's talk about the Vindicator sourcing. Hated it. Absolutely dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And when I say dreadful, I mean dreadful. The sourcing for the Vindicator comes from the Terran faction store here. It is a single chest daily claim. 200 blueprints to source ship that require using your uncommon Terran credits, which are only available through the arena. To do a single chest pull, you need 360 credits, which means it'll take you 200 days, which is just over 6 months, in order to source this ship, assuming you can get at least 360 credits every single day, which, depending on your faction rank, may not be possible. I currently only get 203 credits per day as bronze. Even if I double pull, I get just enough to do one single blueprint a day. And to double pull, that's multiple arena games that to multi-pull chests every single day for the week. You're looking at a lot of arena games. 8 wins, 20 losses, somewhere in between. Most players are going to have to go like 4-9 or 4-10. I haven't done the exact math, but somewhere in that ballpark to be able to triple pull to get 600, 800 credits a day, somewhere in that ballpark, so that they can still do a single chest pull and get this ship in 200 plus days. And you're going to have to triple pull every single day and have your rank high enough if you want to start doing some double chest pulls once in a while. But that also means that you are doing nothing else over here with any of these other favors. You're not sourcing the ones to lower your ship blueprint costs. You're not sourcing the Giorgio's Crown to give you the Apex Barrier to help improve the ability for you to live in some of those fights. You're doing nothing except sourcing the Vindicator, a ship that you won't even use in those PvP arenas. So I'm not a fan at all in the slightest of this method of sourcing. I think the path is way too long. The costs is the wrong type of credit. If you want to make it the green ones, we can talk. But making it the blue ones, which are a lot harder and are used a lot more importantly on these favors, I don't see this as at all a reliable sourcing mechanic for the vast majority of players in the game. So, and that's just to unlock the thing. So realistically, you're talking about at least 6 months for the majority of players, probably closer to 9 or 10 months. For me right now, even if I double pulled these every single day, I get 406, right? Let's do the math. Right? You need 72,000 credits of these for the blueprints. Even if I could double pull every day, the credits, 177 pulls here to get enough to single pull this. So so I'd have 180 days, I'd have enough credits. It would just take me another 20 days after that. But I have to be able to double pull every single day, which means I have to stockpile enough currency from doing enough of arenas to do 4,900, which is 5 wins or 2 or 3 wins and 3 or 4 losses, and that's just a double pull. If I want to triple pull this to get it down to being able to cut it to like 100 days, I got to play a lot more arena games. And when I only have an 8-hour window to work in, and it only happens on Monday afternoons, And only, what, 37% of the population that are even eligible to play in arenas are actually doing them. This just seems horrible all around to me. So just buy the ship or forget it exists. I think I'm going with option B, which is just forget it exists. Now, while it would be nice because obviously the Lorca Fleet Commander sourcing is tucked behind it, and that would be very helpful. I mean, realistically, I think I'd rather just buy Lorca. If I was going to spend money, I wouldn't spend it on the ship to get the refinery to then start sourcing Lorca. I would just buy Lorca and just say, screw you and your stupid ship. But I have, this will be something maybe I'll start sourcing next year after I get the stuff out of here I want, like making my ship blueprints cheaper for the ships I'm actually going to use every day. So maybe it shows up in an event store and we'll worry about it down the road. Probably limited to like, 50 or 100 blueprints at a time. But this sourcing path to me just doesn't seem realistic or reasonable. It should have been green credits. I agree. It should have been green credits. And if the fact that they did make it so horrible is just trying to get people to instead go over here and buy it, they're probably going to accomplish that mission. Because I'm sure a bunch of people who were waiting for the path just saw that and went, "Oh God, that's horrible. I don't want to deal with that. How do I come over? Where can I buy it? Can I just buy the stupid thing now and call it a day? Is it even in here? There's the parts. Oh, there's the unlock right there. There you go. Full unlock, $100. I bet if you check the numbers of how many people bought the Vindicator in the next 48 hours, you're going to see a reasonable number because everyone looked at that path and went, "Oh hell no, I ain't doing that. I would like to opt out. Here's my credit card." And maybe that's something we can get some numbers on, huh? Maybe Chrono can pull those. Chrono, can you? We'll have to message him. Chrono, on Friday, I need you to pull the numbers and tell me how many people bought the Vindicator between Tuesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon. So, what's up, Falcon Paw? I know it'll suck, but if you increase your rank, you do. If you can increase your rank, you do. But then again, obviously, that you're engaging in more arena games, you're playing, you're winning. You know, you have to put in the time. You have to get the right matchups. Have the good teammates who all know the strategy and system of what you've got going on. Yeah, I mean, you will begin to source more credits that way if you can maintain and protect that rank. But obviously, it can change and fluctuate from week to week. You have a good week, you win some games. Okay, great. Oh, you lost. Crap. Now I got dropped down a rank. Now I'm getting a little bit less credits. Like, that kind of stuff will happen. There will be some fluctuations along the way. What am I doing here? Oh, trying to do Q's trials. I keep hitting the wrong button. So, I think that could have been done a lot better. Hatter's not spending any more in the game. I'm not spending any more in the game. I haven't bought anything since February. March. March? Yeah. The Kirishara came out. I think that was March. Late February, early March. I have not spent $1 on this game, not even a battle pass. And I'll be honest, I've been a lot happier since then. I've been a lot happier with playing this game because I lowered my expectations for both myself and from them. Ryan says just wait 6 months, maybe it'll be in an event store. And that could be. That might be faster for some people. And we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe you accumulate enough that you can buy some out of the event store and some somewhere else. Hopefully it's a thing where, they take some feedback and maybe they flip it and change it. Make it the green credits instead of the blue ones. At least then it's a little bit more reasonable of an approach. Otherwise, I don't see a lot of people doing the sourcing through that particular mechanic. You can only tell when there's an event to build the ship. Well, that's probably the case. It's probably got to be tied to an event. What's up, Will? You're up late. Thank you for stopping by. 2 hours of arenas to spend several months waiting for the blueprints for a ship we don't need. Kinda, sorta. Just so you can get a refinery so then you can source your fleet commanders for free if you don't have all of them already. Yep. It's a time gate for a time gate for a time gate. Because even then, once you go through all those hoops, what's that we talking about? If we call it 6 months on good behavior, right? If you get out of jail on good behavior after 6 months and you get the Vindicator, then you can go ahead and start the path to start sourcing Lorca, which will still take another. When you get three a pull from him, and you need what? So that's still another 2 months to get him. So you're talking about 8 to 9 months down the road, assuming you don't miss a Monday, don't have a bad day in arenas, and are able to just keep consecutively pulling. That doesn't seem good. Again, I can see more people sort of looking at that path in front of them and just being like, either I don't care and I'm not going to get the piece of content, or I'm just going to skip to the end and just buy Lorca and just say, keep your ship. I don't want it. So. What's up, Rico? What's up, Terrier? Yeah, I don't think we'll see it in the next event store. It won't be in the one that we'll probably get in January or February, but it might be in the one after it in like the beginning of spring. April or May, whatever that event store is, because then we're like 6 months removed from release date, and the people who have been doing the grind will get it. But I don't think it'll be an unlimited thing too. I think it'll be like, hey, you can get 100 blueprints, which would be half of an unlock. So if you've been doing the grind, great, you can finish it up. If you haven't been doing the grind, well, here's half of it. Maybe you want to start now. Or, maybe you'll take half of it and maybe we'll put a pack in the store for $50 and sell the other half of it. And you'll be like, okay, well, it's only $50. I don't feel like waiting another 3 to 6 months for it to come back in another event store. And they can make a little bit more, squeeze a few more dollars out, right? It's one Lorca shard a week. Well, that's even worse. I thought it was more. I thought it was 3 for him for some reason. I thought he was higher. Maybe it's the other ones there's multiples of those, so they source faster, the old ones. Maybe that's what I'm thinking there. Either way, it's not good. And hopefully that's something that it's one a day. Okay. So it's not one a week. It's one a day. Yeah. That sounds better. That sounds more accurate. Can you source Fleet Commander Lorca? Yes, Nick, that's what we're talking about. If you have the Vindicator, a new refinery opens up all the way down here. And in this refinery here, you can get shards for all of the Fleet Commanders. It's one bundle that you pull that gives you shards for all of them that you don't have. If you already have them, you don't get anything. And so it'll give you Kirk, Spock, Locutus, whoever, including Fleet Commander Lorca. Yeah. It's one of Lorca and Sloan and 3 of everybody else. Thank you, Gaza. I knew there was a 3 pull of somebody in there. So, okay. But it's a daily pull. But again, it also requires you to do something, right? Because there's a Vindicator event that takes place like every Wednesday. So you have to go out and do stuff with the Vindicator to then get the material from the event to then come in here to do the refinery. So if you miss the Wednesday event, then you can't use the refinery, and then you have to wait another week. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Or so I hear. I don't actually have the ship, so I don't know. But this is what I hear people complaining about in my various Discord channels that I'm in. Terrier says if you're going to buy something, buy the ship because the refinery also gives Lorca skill points. Skill points are good. I mean, obviously you do get some from tiering him up, though, right? So, all right. I think that's going to do it for my thoughts on the Vindicator. You guys got anything else you want to add on there? Lou thinks they should have just put it in a special event like they did with the Cerritos. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'd be okay if it was just in here and it was just a daily claim. Just come in here and just get one blueprint a day. That would have been fine. Um, or even still, if it used the green common credits instead of getting your officers, you would come in here and pick these instead. Like that would be reasonable. But to give up the favors and some of these very useful, very lucrative favors to save hundreds of thousands of faction credits or, some of this other stuff that you have the opportunity to get in here. I mean, some of them are green, but some of these also change midway, don't they? Like the Syndicate one that you can level up. I'm sure at some point it's going to change from green to blue after you tier it up once or twice. Has anybody done this multiple times yet? I would assume much like with the X-Borg favors and stuff, even the ones that start green are probably going to change to blue after you get them up a couple tiers. Mental had incursions running during, so you couldn't do anything for the Vindicator. Yep. That's what we were just talking about. Yep. Nick's always wondering if he needed the Vindicator. Have you had any trouble doing stuff without it? Because, a lot of people seem to be doing armadas just fine with the ships we have now. So I don't necessarily know that, the tank ship is a requirement to do much of anything. So you're really only doing it for the refinery, which is really only doing it to source Lorca. Maybe it might just be easier to cut out the middleman on that one.